Hello and welcome back to The Shed. This is my YouTube channel, Man in Shed. My name is John McGrath and this is part 3 of this custom guitar build. So we left it, I was just finishing up on the design and drawing out, getting my shapes ready and stuff, so we had everything marked out and we had all our dimensions. So I finished that now, so I'm happy with the shape, I'm happy with the shape of the headstock. So I'll give you a close up of that now in a second. And from here then I'm going to start preparing the boards. So I want to cut my boards to length and I want to get them all squared up. I'll be doing it with hand planes, so it's sharpen some blades, get this timber prepared, and let's get this show on the road. Okay, quick recap on what we have so far. As you can see, we have it drawn out, we have our humbuckers, we have our bridge marked out, we have our last fret, we have our end of fretboard. We're going 24 frets. It's a double horn super strat type guitar, asymmetrical. We have a nice big carve to come in here to allow us comfort and access to our frets. I'm hoping to do a body carve to follow roughly that outline. Again, that doesn't have to be too accurate yet. I'm going to use this just to take my measurements from. As long as all these measurements are fine, we're good to go. I'll just slide you on down to the headstock. So this is my final headstock design. I think I'm much more happier than this. The other one looked like a bit of a Christmas tree, so this kind of flows a lot better and it kind of mirrors the horns, you know. So I have my tuner heads marked in here as well, so I can use this then to build my templates off and you know, start preparing the timber. So again, we have our measurements, we have our nut, we have our center line. I must actually continue this now through my headstock, which is very important, so we need to maintain our center line throughout our entire build. So yeah, so that's just a quick recap. So now I'm going to start preparing the timber, and let's see if I can get you in on the action here and try and set up a shot. Okay, so first things, we're going to be using our number 7 hand plane. It's the faithful hand plane. I've done a review on this already, but we always want to make sure that our blades are sharp. So if you're getting into woodworking, one thing you need to make sure of is that you have some way of sharpening your tools. Very important. You have to have it. You can't get away with it. Screwdriver. There you go. Too small. What I'll do a complete video on how I sharpen my tools and what I use in another video. Right now, we'll try and keep this short and sweet, and let's just get on with it. So I'll probably fast forward through this stuff. Like I say, I'll break it out in a separate video, exactly how I sharpen the tools. See that? Nice and sharp with a chamfered edge. That's what we're after. Again, I'll do a video on how I sharpen my tools, but for now this is about guitar building. Okay, so we'll measure the total length of our guitar. Just out a camera shot here. It is 1050 mil, right? So it's just under 41.5 inches. So our body blank, and we're going to do our neck blank first. So that's going to run from the right way through the guitar all the way to the end of our headstock. So that's what I'm going to mark out here on this board. I'm not going to prepare this whole board, so I'm just going to cut out what I need. So I'm just going to measure that, allowing a little bit of waste just for any mistakes. So let's say if we prepare a board 42.5 inches. Okay, we want to cut it there. So, right, so that's the size of the board we're going to prepare. So we want to flatten it, get a face edge. We get our face side off that, which would allow us to square our other face and our other side. And hopefully we end up with a square board that we can prepare then into the neck blank. So we'll be cutting this into sections, laminating with some of the sapele, and yeah, hopefully we get a blank out of it. decided to do this with hand tools. Why, oh, why, oh, why. Okay, so here's our board. This is the board we're going to prepare. So we need to plane this now. Like I say, get our face side, face edge, and try and square this thing all around. Okay, and I'm wrecked already. Okay, hopefully you can see that. I should be able to get better shots set up soon. I have some camera equipment and some tripods and stands on the way, so you're just going to have to bear with me for now as we try and do this on a camera phone. Just set up our bench. Set up our plane. Make sure our blade is coming out square. Take it off. Bit of candle wax on the sole will help it glide back it better. Okay. Might just knock over the camera. So maybe I might move you guys. Okay, hopefully you can see that. This is a slightly better angle. And the picture is not too dark. One thing, this will truly be a hand-built guitar. Woo! And this is only the first board. We have a little bit of curly grain here, so we're getting a small bit of tear out, but I just want to square this for now and we can finish this by sanding it. We won't see this because we'll be cutting it and we're going to be turning it on edge and gluing it together, so that we get all our end grain facing up the way. Because this isn't a quarter sawn piece, this is a flat sawn piece of timber, but we can make it like it's quarter sawn by cutting it and turning the grain on edge. That's the plan. It's hot as hell, and this is hard work, as you can see. We almost have our face edge nice and flattened out. We've a small bit more to go down that end. This end is beginning to look pretty good. More to go here. We're almost there. So we're kind of falling off here. So we need to work this down here. Getting there. This board is starting to look nice. A small bit more to do here, obviously that's still falling away, which is why we're not hitting that rust part yet. But that's pretty good. And pretty good back here, a small bit there in the centre. A small bit in the middle along here as well. Okay, so we're almost there. Yeah. Working with hand tools is great crack. Well, why wouldn't you do it? we're almost there. It's almost flat. Now I realise that this light might be ruining the shot, but I'm not playing another board for you guys. Anyway, as I'm playing this, I'm keeping my plane slightly at an angle because I'm referencing a lot more of the plane and the board. If I was to run it straight along the board, I'm running a very narrow track, so that doesn't keep me flat and square to the rest of my work surface, if you get what I'm saying. So if I keep it slightly at an angle, I'm referencing the full width of the board. And as my plane sole is supposedly extremely flat, that should ride along it a lot better, you know, and it should keep me, I should be able to find the high spots rather than just running in a track straight down and reference the whole board like so. And so we can hit any high spots across the board, if that makes sense. I'm getting tired, so maybe I'm not explaining things too well. Right, so okay, we have a low area there. On our engineering square down the board. There. There we go. So we have a low spot here. And then it runs to about there. And we're pretty good back here. Okay, so we're just going to work a small area here and try and get this flat as well. Okie dokie. Okay, so we're looking pretty good down along our board. We've no highs and lows, we're nice and flat. So this is now our face side. So I'm going to mark that our face side. And what we do now is we square our face edge off this. We don't flatten the far side of the board because I can have a perfectly flat surface on this side and a perfectly flat surface on this side. But that's not to say that my board doesn't end up in a wedge. So these two faces can narrow together if I don't have a reference. So what I do is you flatten this side first. I get my square. I square this side off. So I have a flat edge and I have a 90-degree surface to that. Then I can square my far side off this edge, which means then that my two flat surfaces are running perfectly parallel, if that makes sense to you guys. So that's the next thing we're going to do then. We'll our face edge. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. Check our edge and see how bad it is. You know what? It's not actually too bad. So a small bit of work should give us a face edge. Small bit high there, and a little bit high there. That's pretty, a little bit high at the edge there. Okay, so we're almost there. Let's take that down slowly. Okay, so that gives us our face edge, or our face side, sorry, and our face edge. Now what I'll do is I'll flatten the opposite face, but I'll square it off this side. So that'll keep this face and this face running parallel. Just looking down along the length of the board, there's probably a 1/4 of an inch between this end of the board and this end of the board anyway, so it's actually narrowing as we go this way. So that's why it's important to get a reference face and a reference edge and they will be the two sides that we always work to. So I'm just going to mark my face edge, so we square everything always off these two sides the whole way through the build. Okay, I might just go pass out in the corner for a bit. Okay, so I might have put you wrong there. I need to use my marking gauge here. So I have my face side, my face edge. So now I want to keep my thickness the same the whole way down. So I measure off my face side. So the narrowest point of my board is down this end. So this is a Veritas marking gauge, by the way. These are great. I highly recommend them. They have measurements on the side of them there. So I can just use this to actually take a measurement. And so we're looking at 32 mil. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to allow myself a millimeter because this is almost square as it is. So I'm going to take that back to 31. Tighten it up. And then I want to run this down my board, squaring off my face side. Alright, so we have quite a bit of material to remove down this end. Just get a pencil line in there so you can see that. Okay, so now you can see this board. Obviously it wasn't machined very great, but this is my narrowest edge. So this is my face side, so I square my board off my face side. So this will keep my two faces running parallel. So that's, you can see how much material I have to remove, which is quite a lot down that end. But in order to get this square, that's what I have to do. So what I'll do now is, I'll do the same again. I'll square down this side off my face edge. Again, 31 millimeters. Okay, so as you can see, I need to plane down to this line, plane this face down to that line, and down to this line, and that will give me a nice square board with my two faces running parallel and my two sides square. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. I will get back to the grindstone. You guys go make a cup of tea or something. This is going to take some time. Okay, so the bandsaw did a nice bit of work there for us. So because this side is square, I was able to run it along the fence and just take it nice and slowly, because that's a difficult cut for a bandsaw, especially that width. But that's a good bandsaw and a new blade, so just take it nice and slow and just feed it in through. So that takes a good bit off it. I don't have to work with the plane. So we're nearly there. Okay, let's check that. Oh man. Okay. Okay, we're good that way. Now we just want to make sure we're square off our face. Looks pretty good. Okay, so we have our face side, face edge, we have our other face parallel to this face, and now all we have to do is just square off this edge, and that is one board prepared. Man, I tell you what, my kingdom for the planer thickness or joint are. Oh, so if anybody out there wants to send me one, I'd be happy to do a review on it. Oh man, I need to go to bed. Okay. I'm not exactly sure where I am in this video, but anyway, we have face, side, face edge. We have this face running parallel with that face. Now what we need to do is get this edge running parallel with this edge. So it's the same principle as before. We just take our marking gauge. This is our reference face, our edge that we marked. So again, we just get our narrowest point, measure that, and just put a line the whole way down, and that will ensure that these two sides are running parallel and these two sides are running parallel, and that will give you a nice square board all the way around. So it's just the same process. I won't show you this, But this is going to be the centerpiece of my guitar. So this is going to run through the bandsaw, and we're going to cut this into strips. We're going to turn them on edge, and we're going to put sapele in between. So the next thing I'm going to do is prepare a sapele board. Again, I won't show you that, it's the same process, and that'll be our board square, and then we can start to make our laminate neck and our neck through part, and then after that then we will cut the two wings of the guitar. Right, so in the next video I should have this board and the sapele board, and I'll show you running that through the bandsaw, and we will build our laminate neck. Okay, I hope this has been some way useful. I can't even speak, I'm exhausted. But yeah, hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next vid.